everyone. Today we're going to talk about solving the quadratic equation using quadratic formula. So in another video I showed you how to get the roots or answers of a quadratic equation, and the problem with that way potentially is that it's not always easy to get the answers or the roots for let's say a quadratic equation using factoring, right? So the way that I will talk in a little bit more detail, and I will get to a real example with numbers using this formula, is called a quadratic formula. Basically, this formula is quadratic formula. Let me show you what are these A, B, C, and how we can get the roots of a quadratic equation. Okay, right now I'm going to show you the general format of a quadratic equation. We had x2, but generally we can have a coefficient as a plus bx plus c equals 0. And here, a, b, and c are all numbers. So if we have this format, the roots or the answer, which are x1 and x2, because we have two answers. Why do we have two answers? Because we have a exponent of 2 here. So the answers would be minus b plus minus b2 minus 4ac over 2a. I'm going to show you in an example. Let me put it on a blue. So this is my example. So the example is as below. Let's say my example is 3x2 minus 5x plus 2 is 0. Okay. Now I want to first step is determine your A, B, and C. Very easy. A is always the coefficient of x2, which is 3, as here. B is coefficient of x, which is minus 5. And remember, we have always plus signs here, right? If you have minus something, the B would be minus something. And then C is the last number here, which is 2. So we have these coefficients, right? And then now step 2 is to plug them into x1, x2 coefficient, which is minus b plus minus b2 minus 4ac over 2a. I'm going to break that down into x1 and x2. Okay, so x1 is minus b plus b2 minus 4a ac over 2a, which is, I'm going to just plug them in, minus b. What was b? B is minus 5. Plus a2. Sorry, b2. What is b again? Minus 5. Main high 4ac. What is a? 3. c 2. Over 2a. What is a? 3. Now let's just simplify that. Minus 5 is plus 5. Plus square root. This, let me change the color. This is 25. It means like it's the same as 5 squared or power to 2. And this is 4, 3, 2. All the multiplication, this is 6. And 4 by 6 is 24. And this is 6. Again, simplify that. We're going to write them down. 5 plus square root of 1 over 6. Square root of 1 is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6 over 6. It's 1. So then x1 is 1. We got the x1. Now let's go to x2, right? I'm going to write x2 as another color. Let's put it on green. Same, minus b. Now instead of plus, we put minus. Remember here, we had minus b plus minus something. The plus goes for x1, the minus goes for x2. So then it's going to be minus b minus b2 minus 4ac over 2a. So minus b was 5 minus, we had this calculated above here, which was 1, and 2a was 6. The rest is the same as above. 5 minus 1 is 4 over 6. We can simplify that as 2/3. And this is x2, which is 2/3. We got x2 as well, right? Now we have x1 and x2. How we can use them? Because you have the roots as x1 and x2, you can rewrite or simplify your equation, which was the sample or example 3x2 minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. But so we figured out that x1 and x2 are two roots of the equation, which is this sample or example. So I'm going to rewrite that example as x minus first root multiplied x minus second root equals 0. What is first root? 1. Second root? 2/3. So I'm going to write this as x minus 1 multiplied x minus 2/3 equals 0. So this is basically the same factoring format which we were trying to get by kind of guessing in the other video that I had. Okay, I'm going to show you just 3 conditions, very simple conditions, right? As you remember, we had the x1 and x2 as a formula, and in that formula we had something like squared b2 minus over 4ac, right? And this would be kind of a number, right? There is 3 situations. 1, if b2 minus 4ac is 0. If that is 0, we are going to have just one answer or one root. Second condition, if b2 minus 4ac is bigger than 0 or is positive, then we have x1 and x2. We have 2 roots. And 3, if b2 minus 4ac is negative. This is interesting. If this is negative, you basically have no real answer. No roots for now, okay? Until you will learn the imaginary part of the numbers. For now, let's just assume there is no root or there is no real answer. So 3 conditions. 1, if this is 0, 1 root. 2, if this is positive, as in our example, we have we have 2 roots, x1 and x2. And if it is negative, there is no real answer. Okay, so I have another example for you. Let's say I have 5x2 minus 3x minus 10. So my question is, how many real answer or roots I can have in this equation? Just comment that below. How many? 1, 2, none. Which one? Okay, good, good. Hopefully, whatever I talked about here help you get you a little bit more understanding uh, about solving the roots for quadratic equation. Any kind of question, anything you think of uh, not clear, not clearly expressed here in my video, or you have any question, comment below. I try to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good day.